Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic today is going to be over plant symbiosis. The learning objectives that we have set forth for you today are to know what a symbiotic relationship is, know the four subtypes of symbiosis with regard to plants, and know why symbiotic relationships are essential for plants. Alright, so first being first, a symbiotic relationship is an interaction between two different organisms living in close physical association, typically to the advantage of both, but the benefactor of the relationship can vary. And this variation does come out of four subtypes of symbiosis, and we will be speaking about these with regard to plants. The four subtypes are mutualism, commensalism, parasitism, and endosymbiosis. Okay, so the first subtype of symbiotic relationships is called mutualism, and mutualism is when two organisms of different species work together, each benefiting from the relationship. A good example of this is the honeybee. A honeybee and a flowering plant hold a mutualistic relationship where the honeybee is able to gain nectar from the plant, which is how it makes its food, and then the honeybee helps the flowering plant by pollinating it, further allowing the flowering plant to reproduce. Okay, and then the second subtype of symbiotic relationships is called commensalism. And what commensalism is a biological relationship in which one species benefits from an interaction while the host species is neither positively or negatively affected to any degree. A good example of this would be orchids. Orchids are epiphytes, and epiphytes are plants that grow on other plants or other structures, while the host plant or structure does not gain nor lose anything from that relationship. Most orchids are epiphytes that will grow on a tree or a rock, leaving the roots to be exposed to the air, and from the air they gain their water and nutrients. All right, and the third subtype of symbiotic relationships is called parasitism. And what that is a relationship in which one organism, the parasite, will live off of another organism, the host, and harming it and possibly causing death. The parasite will generally live in or on the host. A good example of this are aphids, and aphids are sap-sucking parasites that live in plants, which generally can cause great harm to the plant. The final subtype of symbiotic relationships is called endosymbiosis. That is a symbiotic relationship in which one organism lives inside of another. A good example of this are chloroplasts and mitochondria. And this symbiotic relationship is where we believe we get eukaryotic cells. So why are symbiotic relationships important for plants? Simply, they allow for plants to survive in environments or situations in which they would otherwise be unable to do so.